So this is Hara.
I'm Hara. Hello, Conor.
Hello, Hara.
Hello, hello. I'm the real Greek.
She's the real Greek.
Okay, super. Looking forward to this.
And I'm Howard, and husband and wife. And I've worked with Hara on various Greek projects. I have a whole background in English as a foreign language publishing. And I'm a bit of a linguist as well, so I know various languages. And I've learned Greek, living with her and working with her on Greek projects.
Okay, awesome.
So, tell us about yourself. You're from Ireland, I guess, are you?
Yes, that's right. I was born in Galway on the west coast of Ireland, and I'm speaking tonight from the seaside, but on a different side of Europe. I'm actually currently in Odessa, in Ukraine, on the shores of the Black Sea, but I was born on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean over in Ireland. Wow. And I had a maybe unusual polyglot. Obviously, I'm invited on today because I'm a polyglot. I have been very poor at languages at school. I almost didn't pass Irish, which is the first official language of Ireland, along with English. So I just about got through that. And then I started learning French. I went to France, and then I had obviously a whole series of things that led to me becoming a polyglot. So I haven't learned Greek before. I speak, we'll say, over 10 languages to varying degrees of fluency. I'm obviously based here in Odessa, in Ukraine, where the language spoken in daily life is Russian. The official language of the country is Ukrainian. But I mainly speak Western European languages. So we say one of those that are common in Western Europe, like.
But you're a zero beginner. You're a zero beginner in Greek.
Greek, yeah. Okay. I've never studied. I have visited Greece, and maybe said a few words in Greek that I heard at the time, but I don't even remember. I'm actually thinking now, though I know.
Okay, good. Well, we'll start from zero, Conor. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the Michel Thomas Method, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do the prompting, but Hara is going to model all the language, all the pronunciation. So you will get the exactly correct Greek pronunciation from her. Okay. But I'll do the sort of toing and froing. Now, are you familiar with the Michel Thomas Method? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I should have said that in my introduction. I'm a huge fan.
I
actually learned, when I think about it now, this is one of the important things to say, is that I actually learned many of the languages that I speak today. I started with Michel Thomas. That was something that really helped me. I was very excited about the course when it first started. I think I was probably one of the first people. I remember finding it in a bookshop, so I'm very familiar with it. It was like over whenever they came out. It would have been 2006, is it? When did they start? Something. I mean, it was really new. I remember I found it in my local bookshop in Ireland. So, and I think the first language I learned with it was Italian. I started, Okay. So I mean, I've used it for Italian, for Spanish, for German, for French.
But the Spanish, French, German, and Italian were all done by Michel himself.
Yes.
Initially. And then unfortunately he died because he was quite elderly. And then the publishing company that took on the projects, and I know them well, and in fact I knew the boss then, and he negotiated the rights, and then he brought in all different language teachers for the different languages to reproduce the method. Anyway, so you know that it's all based on interaction. There's no reading, writing, homework, memorization, nothing, okay? So you're familiar with it. Right,
yes.
We're going to get started. We're getting it started.
All right.
Okay, so we're starting very simply. In Greek, a sandwich is...
Ένα sandwich.
Can you say it?
Ένα sandwich.
That's it, very good.
Ένα sandwich. An ouzo is...
Ouzo.
Ouzo. That little word before?
Okay. En ouzo.
Ένα ouzo.
Ένα
ouzo.
So ena is the word.
So we have en sandwich and ena ouzo. Am I right?
Ένα sandwich, ένα ouzo.
Please.
Ena sandwich. Okay, because I didn't hear it properly. Ena sandwich.
Ένα sandwich, ένα ouzo.
Okay.
Please is parakalo.
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 The important thing here is to remember that in Greek, all the vowels are pure. Okay, there's no A, E, I, like in English.
As in this word, it's a, O at the end.
Okay.
Parakalo.
Oh. So how would you
Parakalo.
say, okay, how would you say a sandwich, please?
Ένα sandwich, παρακαλώ.
Ένα sandwich, parakalo. Very good.
An ouzo, please.
Ένα ouzo, παρακαλώ.
Ένα ouzo, parakalo. Again, please. Parakalo.
Ένα ouzo, παρακαλώ.
Ένα ouzo, parakalo.
Okay, so the word for I is ego.
Ego.
Εγώ.
Ego.
Yeah.
It's
Like
similar
ego.
to ego.
It's
Yeah.
the
Of course,
ego.
it's the same word, but it's pronounced differently. Ego. If you listen to the way that Harula says the G sound,
Ego.
it's soft.
It's very soft at the back of your throat. Ego. Ego.
Εγώ.
Yes, very good. Ego. Ego.
Εγώ.
Ego.
Now
Εγώ.
in Greek, you don't normally need to use the words I, you, he, she, it, because the ending of the verb tells you who's speaking. So when you only use ego for I when you want to emphasize that it's I speaking.
Okay.
Okay?
Clear.
So the word to say I want is θέλω.
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 Eh,
Θέλω.
Θέλω.
That's it. Θέλω.
Θέλω.
So what would be I want an ouzo?
Mhm. Θέλω ένα ouzo.
Very good.
Very good. Θέλω ένα ouzo.
I want a sandwich, please.
Θέλω ένα sandwich, παρακαλώ.
Θέλω ένα sandwich, παρακαλώ. Very good.
The little word for and in Greek is ke.
Και, και,
Και.
και, και,
So
Τε
how
or
would you
και?
say?
και.
Just ke.
Just και.
Και.
So I want an ouzo and a sandwich.
Θέλω ένα ouzo και ένα sandwich. Παρακαλώ. I guess please I should be polite.
Very good. Θέλω ένα ouzo και ένα sandwich.
Say again.
Θέλω ένα ouzo και ένα sandwich.
So with thelo, you notice that the o at the end of thelo, that's the marker for the personal I, for the first subject, okay? So anything with o is, well, you'll learn some more verbs later, but the o marks that it's the I form, thelo. So how would you say I want?
Yeah,
Θέλω.
but I,
Where-
with emphasis on I.
Okay, I want. Okay, εγώ θέλω.
Very good.
Εγώ θέλω.
So how would you say I want an ouzo?
Εγώ θέλω ένα ouzo.
Εγώ
Εγώ.
θέλω ένα ouzo. Good, very good.
And how would you say I want a sandwich, please?
Εγώ θέλω ένα sandwich, παρακαλώ.
Εγώ θέλω ένα sandwich, παρακαλώ. Oh, very good. Yeah.
Very good. Now, I have to turn over a page here.
Okay, go for it.
The U form of the verb ends in ete, ete. The I form ends in o, and the U form ends in ete.
The U form, which is U in Greek for plural, or when you are being formal.
So it's
That's
like
the
it's like
ending.
vous.
It's like the vous
It's not
in
tu.
French.
It's not tu. It's vous. Okay. So can you guess what? Can you guess what you want is?
It was eta, right?
Ete.
So,
Ete is
et-
the ending.
Okay, ete. So, telete,
Very good. Θέλετε.
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 telete.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Θέλετε.
So, how would you ask somebody, do you want an ouzo?
Telete ένα ouzo. So,
Okay.
telete ένα ouzo.
Θέλετε ένα ούζο. Oh, yeah, θέλετε ούζο, you could, but because we have, do you want an ούζο? Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Now in Greek, there are no question forming words like we have in English, because you say, do you want? In Greek, you just say, want you. You don't say, do you. There's no do you in Greek, or
There's a
don't
word for
you.
do.
But you have to change the intonation. When you ask a question, the intonation changes. So Harula, do.
Yes. So, do you want an ouzo? Θέλετε ένα ouzo? Θέλετε ένα ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
That's it. Very well. You go down and up. Θέλετε ένα ouzo? Yes,
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
θέλετε ένα ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
That's it. Very
And
good.
how would you say, do you want a sandwich?
Θέλετε ένα σάντουιτς?
Very good. Yes, excellent.
You're getting it, Conor.
Excellent
You're getting it.
information.
You're getting it,
Bravo.
Conor. Right. Now the word for you, the plural, the vous, is essis.
Yes. Essis.
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 So you've asked somebody already, do you want an ouzo? But if you wanted to say, do you want an ouzo? Can you guess at that?
Essis. Yeah. Essis θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Excellent.
Essis. Θέλετε ένα ouzo? Very good.
And do you want a sandwich?
Εσείς θέλετε ένα σάντουιτς?
Essis. Θέλετε ένα sandwich?
Very good. Now, to answer yes or no, the word for yes is ne.
Ναι. Ναι.
Yeah.
It sounds like no, but it means yes.
I was going to say it's very counterintuitive compared to everywhere else. Do Greeks have the, like Bulgarians, they say yes like this, and then no, like the nodding is the
No,
same?
that when you say no in Greek, sometimes you say nothing. You just tilt your head up and you do
Yeah.
a little
Oh, okay.
with
Yeah.
your mouth,
But
Yeah.
the word for
which
no.
the English don't understand.
Yeah. But the word for no is ochi.
Yes.
Ochi.
Ochi.
The word for
Ochi.
no is ochi. Ochi.
Ochi.
Ochi.
Ochi.
Ochi. That's it. That's better. Very good. Ochi.
Ochi.
Yes.
Yeah, see, my pronunciation wasn't so good.
No,
I
no,
said
no.
ochi, but
No,
it's
ochi.
a soft
Ochi.
he. Ochi.
Yes.
The word for not, when you're making a verb negative, okay, when we say don't in English,
Yeah.
the word for not is then.
Then. Then.
So I don't want.
But that then goes in front of the verb.
Ah,
Not
okay.
I want. Not I want.
Δεν έχω θέλω. That's it, right?
And I don't want. How is I don't want? Not I want. What's the word for not? That
Then.
little word then.
Then. Yeah. Then.
Not I want. How do you say not then?
Don't worry about ego, just
Yes,
the verb.
just the verb. How is I want without the I?
Then θέλω.
Hello. Very good. Then hello. I don't want.
Okay.
Then
θέλω.
hello.
Okay, so I'll ask you again. How would you say, do you want a sandwich?
Θέλετε ένα σάντουιτς?
Θέλετε ένα sandwich. Very good.
And you answer saying, yes, I want a sandwich.
Ναι.
Ναι.
Θέλω ένα σάντουιτς.
Ναι. Θέλω ένα sandwich.
And ask, do you want an ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want an ouzo.
Όχι.
Okay, very good.
Όχι. Δεν. Θέλω ένα ούζο.
Excellent. Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο. Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο.
Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο.
Good. So you're getting θέλω, θέλετε, ναι, όχι. Okay. Do you need to go back a bit? Do we need to repeat anything? Are you?
Let's just go with
happy?
it. Let's
Just
go
keep
with it.
going.
Keep
We'll just keep
going.
going. Okay.
I'll
So-
get confused at some stage, no doubt. But that's all
No,
right.
you're doing fine.
Fine.
Now, if you want to ask for a tea, I mean, in Greek, you don't say a cup of tea, you just say, I want a tea.
A tea.
And the word for tea is tsai, ena tsai.
You may know it from other languages.
Yeah,
It's like
chai in
it's
Russian.
like
Chai. Yes, that's right.
So-
It's not chai, it's tsai.
Sai,
Tsai.
sai.
So I'm going to give you a longer sentence now, see if you can figure this one out. So you ask, do you want an ouzo? And you answer, no, I don't want an ouzo. I want a tea. So
Okay.
we'll take it in steps,
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
Do you want an ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Very good. Answer, no, I don't want an ouzo.
Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο.
Very good. I want a tea.
Θέλω ένα τσάι.
So, θέλετε ένα ούζο? Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο. Εγώ θέλω ένα τσάι.
Do you want to do the whole thing again? Do
Okay.
you want an ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Yeah.
No, I don't want an ouzo.
Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο.
I want a tea.
Θέλω ένα τσάι.
Εγώ θέλω.
Εγώ.
Εγώ θέλω ένα τσάι. So, θέλετε ένα ούζο? Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο. Εγώ θέλω ένα τσάι.
Okay.
Now this is a little bit of a trick.
This wasn't quite right on.
Yes.
Okay. Θέλω ένα τσάι.
Εγώ, I want a tea. Εγώ θέλω ένα τσάι.
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you one that will just make you think a little bit, but we'll see how good you are, Conor.
All right.
So you ask the question, don't you want an ouzo?
I have to answer this?
Yeah?
Don't you want to?
No,
No, you have to say it in Greek.
Okay.
You have to ask the question, don't you want an ouzo?
Θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Got it.
Bravo.
Say it again.
Δεν θέλετε ένα ούζο?
Δεν θέλετε ένα ούζο? Absolutely right. Δεν θέλετε ένα ούζο?
And the answer is, no, I don't. But remember, there's no word for don't in Greek, so you have to repeat the verb.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
no, I don't.
Όχι, δεν θέλω.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Excellent.
Όχι, δεν θέλω.
So, just repeat that whole thing, Haruna, as a model.
Θέλετε ένα ούζο? Όχι, δεν θέλω ένα ούζο. Εγώ θέλω ένα τσάι. Δεν θέλετε ένα ούζο? Όχι, δεν θέλω.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, don't you want a sandwich?
Δεν θέλετε ένα σάντουιτς?
Δεν θέλετε ένα σάντουιτς?
No, I don't.
Όχι, δεν θέλω.
Excellent. Όχι, δεν θέλω.
Very good. So we've been going for 20 minutes. Actually, a bit less because we had an introduction.
Yes.
So we'll carry on a bit
Carry on
longer.
a bit, yeah. Are you
Right.
okay?
Hey, let's go for it.
Okay. Right. Now, the word for what is tea.
What?
Tea.
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 So how would you say, what do you want?
Τι θέλετε?
Very good.
Εσείς?
Τι θέλετε?
Τι
Yeah.
θέλετε?
Τι θέλετε?
The word to say I have is echo.
Έχω.
Έχω. Έχω.
So how would you say, yes, I've got a sandwich?
Ναι. Έχω ένα sandwich.
Ναι. Έχω ένα sandwich. Sandwich, like, but we say sandwich.
Yeah. And here's a little tricky one. No, I haven't got an ouzo.
Όχι. Δεν έχω ένα ούζο.
Excellent.
good.
Όχι, δεν έχω ένα ούζο.
So you're working it all out. You're getting the grammar, aren't you?
Absolutely.
You're working it out.
Yeah, it seems like maybe a bit similar to Russian. I don't know why.
Well, you know
Just-
Russian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe the
you're-
structure a little bit. I'm just guessing because I'm in a Russian-speaking
Right.
city in a Ukrainian-speaking country, which
Yeah.
they have similar grammar.
The grammar, the cases and the genders are very similar to Russian. Although
Okay.
you've got 6 cases, Greek has got 4.
Well, you used to have
Okay, so
5,
you
but
have-
now we have 3 because the
Yes,
language
3.
has been simplified.
It's 3 with
Okay.
a vocative that nobody
Yeah,
uses. But I know
yes.
in Russian
Six.
you've got nominative, genitive, dative,
Six.
instrumental, and something else, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't remember the names of them all.
Nominative, accusative, genitive, dative,
You don't
instrumental,
need to.
No, it's-
You
and
don't
one
need
other. Yeah, yeah.
There's
I
a
did
vocal
Russian.
case as well, but
I
think
did
in
Russian
Ukraine-
for A level, but that was 50 years ago. Right. So you know that θέλω is I want, θέλετε is you want, έχω is I have. What would be you have?
Έχετε.
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 Έχετε. Very
Very
good.
good.
Have you got a sandwich?
Έχετε ένα sandwich.
No, I haven't got a sandwich.
Όχι. Δεν έχω ένα sandwich.
Mhm.
Have you got a tea?
Έχετε ένα τσάι.
No, I haven't got a tea.
Όχι. Δεν έχω ένα τσάι.
Good. Have you got a sandwich?
Would you
To emphasize.
emphasize?
Εσείς,
Yeah.
εσείς,
Εσείς.
εσείς έχετε ένα τσάι. Was it tea we said? Or? Yeah.
Sandwich, doesn't
Oh,
matter.
sorry,
Doesn't
ένα
matter.
sandwich.
Εσείς έχετε ένα sandwich?
Repeat.
Εσείς έχετε ένα sandwich.
It's εσείς.
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 Εσείς. Okay,
That's
εσείς.
it. Very
Εσείς.
good.
Έχετε ένα sandwich.
Yes, I have.
Ναι. Έχω.
Ναι.
Yeah? Echo.
Very good. Ναι. Έχω.
No, I haven't.
Όχι. Δεν έχω.
Όχι. Δεν έχω.
So to say it when you're talking, you know, like I've got it, I have it, whatever, the little word is to. To.
Το.
Το.
So in English, and you put it before the verb, like in,
It I have.
like in French.
It I want.
So I want it in English, it would sound like it I want.
Yes.
So how would you say I want it?
Το έχω.
Yeah. That's I have it. That's very good. Το έχω. I want it. I want it.
Το θέλω.
Το θέλω. Το θέλω.
I don't want it.
Δεν το θέλω.
Δεν το θέλω. Very good. Δεν το θέλω.
I have it.
Το έχω.
Το έχω.
Here's a bit of a longer sentence for you. I've got a sandwich. Do you want it?
Το έχω. Yeah. Έχω ένα sandwich. Εσείς το θέλετε.
Very good.
Good.
Έχω ένα sandwich with emphasized you. Εσείς το θέλετε. Without you emphasized το θέλετε.
Το θέλετε.
Yeah. So how would you say, you've got an ouzo, I want it?
Έχετε ένα ούζο, το θέλω.
Έχετε ένα ούζο. Το θέλω.
Very good. You've got it, I want it.
Εσείς το έχετε, το θέλω.
Very good. Εσείς το έχετε. Το θέλω. And without you emphasized, το έχετε. Το θέλω.
Okay. Now, if you really want to emphasize the you and the I, you've got it, I don't want it.
Εσείς το έχετε, εγώ το θέλω.
Very
Yes.
good. Εσείς το έχετε. Εγώ δεν το θέλω. Excellent. Very good. Bravo, bravo.
Well,
Bravo,
I should-
Conor.
I
You're
should-
very, very good. Very good. You're the ideal student.
Right. So I'm going to teach you
Wow.
just a few more things about drink. Okay, so you can order drinks and you can say what you want. You know, it's a useful thing. So a glass of wine or a glass of ouzo. In Greek, you say a glass ouzo. You don't have to say the of.
Yeah.
So the glass is ena potiri.
Ένα ποτήρι.
Ένα
Ποτήρι.
ποτήρι.
Ένα ποτήρι.
So a glass of ouzo would be,
Ένα ποτήρι ούζο.
fine. I want a glass of ouzo, please.
Θέλω ένα ποτήρι ούζο.
Please.
Ποκατελώ.
Παρακαλώ.
Παρακαλώ.
Παρακαλώ. Θέλω ένα ποτήρι ούζο, παρακαλώ.
Think of potiri because it's potable, it's drinkable.
Yes, potable.
Yes,
Potiri.
think of potiri.
Yeah, think of
And
potable.
the word for wine in Greek is krasi.
Κρασί.
Interesting.
Krasi.
Let's see. Like Russian, it's similar. It's a word for red.
Yeah, but you can think of it as you'd be crazy not to drink krasi.
Yes, you would.
This is like in the Michel Thomas. He has these little mnemonics, you know, to remind you.
To associate and
So
don't say.
so what would be a glass of wine then?
Ποτήρι κρασί.
So a glass of wine.
A glass of wine.
Ένα ποτήρι κρασί.
Ένα ποτήρι κρασί.
The word for bottle is bukali. Bukali.
Μπουκάλι. Μπουκάλι.
So a bottle of wine.
Μπουκάλι. Ένα μπουκάλι κρασί.
Κρασί.
Very good.
Ένα μπουκάλι κρασί.
Do you want a bottle of wine?
Θέλετε ένα μπουκάλι κρασί.
Θέλετε ένα μπουκάλι κρασί. Very good intonation. Bravo.
Excellent, excellent. I don't want a bottle of wine. I want a glass of ouzo.
So I don't want a bottle of wine. I want a glass of ouzo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then θέλω ένα μπουκάλι κρασί. Θέλω ένα ποτήρι ούζο.
Yeah, excellent. Δεν θέλω ένα μπουκάλι κρασί. Θέλω ένα μπουκάλι ούζο.
Potiri.
Ποτήρι. Συγγνώμη. Sorry.
Potiri ouzo.
Θέλω ένα ποτήρι ούζο. Yes.
Do you want a glass of wine?
Θέλετε ένα ποτήρι κρασί.
Θέλετε ένα ποτήρι κρασί.
Don't you want a glass of ouzo?
Δεν θέλετε ένα ποτήρι ούζο.
Very good.
Very good, very good.
And the last liquid is water,
Yeah.
which is nero.
Nero. Nero.
Nero.
Nero. Like Nero,
But
you know?
Yes,
think
yes,
of
The
yes.
Emperor Nero, Nero.
It's the Emperor Nero needing water to put out the fire in Rome.
Yes.
Okay?
Excellent.
Think of
That's a good
Nero.
mnemonic. Nero.
So a glass of water, please.
Ένα ποτήρι νερό.
Please.
Παρακαλώ.
Παρακαλώ. Ένα ποτήρι νερό,
Παρακαλώ.
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 Mhm.
We've come to the end of a natural break before we then go into various words,
Yes.
various verbs. We've done just under half an hour.
Okay.
Are you okay to stop now, Conor? I think we were
It's up
supposed
to you
to go
guys. I'm
through.
having fun doing this. So
Okay.
apparently Greek
Okay.
would be a great language for me to learn in terms of reward versus the time invested. I felt very comfortable.
Good, good.
Excellent.
Structure. Actually, here Odessa, if I'm not mistaken, was originally a Greek settlement. So maybe there's something in the air.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
it's Black Sea.
absolutely.
It's the-
Absolutely. The Greek settlement,
It's
yes.
the Black Sea.
But thank you. I mean, you're very, very good. I mean, obviously, you've done other languages, and it's, you know, you just retain. Because, you know, I mean, that's why I said you're the ideal student for Michel Thomas.
So when you were thinking of the answers, how were you visualizing?
Yes.
Were you visualizing at all, or how were you thinking? It's interesting to know what was going
process,
on in your
yes.
head.
Like if the word is difficult to remember and I feel uncomfortable, I would use a mnemonic. Like we
Okay.
had a few examples that you gave,
Yeah.
but it's always better if they're personalized. So for me, like wine, krasi, I just thought red wine immediately, right? Pahar, there is a word in Romanian, and I'm just thinking, does it mean glass or bottle? But it was very nice to potiri. It just reminded me because I've done that before. So
Yes, of course. You're used to to this process, yes.
And then other things like pelo and all this stuff, and then I don't know. I was very relaxed when I was doing it. I think that's something very important. I wasn't stressed.
That's
I felt
very
comfortable with
important,
both of
yes.
you as teachers as well. You obviously have some experience, or you created a very relaxed environment, and then
Oh,
you know I
that's
have the
great.
experience of doing it several times before. Yeah, I'm currently learning 2 languages. I don't speak very well, but I just started, so I'm kind of in that groove as well. That I've been doing it recently, but yeah, I wouldn't say I visualize. I don't make a mnemonic for everything. Just if I think, okay, this is similar, or this might be a tricky word, I need to think of it, and it's going to
You
pop
make
up.
associations, yes, of course.
Did you get how? Well, you know the Michel Thomas from the past, but did you get how the structure of the language comes through? You know, where the pronoun goes, where the negative goes, the
Well, of
endings, because sometimes you learn them mechanically at school. You know, you do, you know, je suis, tu es, etc. Vous avez. You learn it mechanically, whereas in this method, it kind of gets absorbed, doesn't it? You automatically know now that the to comes before the verb, and the then becomes
It's because
before
you
the verb.
practice it immediately.
Yeah.
You
Yes, you practice, you apply it immediately. So yeah, and it becomes very comfortable. That I just think of it that way automatically in Greek now, and if I were to continue learning it. Yeah, back in school, I mean, I'm a classic example of someone who could only speak English, as I tried, you know, after I had learned Irish for I don't know how many years, 11 years maybe at school, maybe even more, and French for 5 years. And part of the issue was the fact that they had this rote memorization system where you're learning tables, and then suddenly you're in a situation where you need to ask someone, I gotta visualize a table and think second. I mean, no, it has to be more automatic and intuitive. And once you're doing these, just trying to think of the word in English, substitution, I guess, exercises.
Yes.
So we're changing out a word, either a word in the verb. But I know the basic structure. This is what I thought worked very well with the Michel Thomas method, especially in that beginner phase. Of course, when you go on to learn a language at a very high level, you know, it gets a bit more, you know, there's obviously a lot of exceptions. It becomes a lot more complex. But for this basic
You've got to see it written
level,
down, exactly.
yeah, it's very good, I find, for getting you started, getting you more confident. And for, you know, as I said, I started with this method when I learned French, Italian, no, not French, because I'd already learned French, but say Italian, Spanish, German, I started, this was my first thing I started with, was Michel Thomas Method back in the day when he
Well, I
taught.
think you're a perfect advertisement for Michel Thomas then, Conor.
Yeah,
You know.
well, I'm doing this all for free, not because they're paying me anything as well. But
Well,
I
you
just
never
really like the
know.
method, so I'm always welcome. You know, I'm always
Okay.
up for endorsing something that I'm
Excellent.
really enthusiastic
Okay.
about. Value.
Conor, I'm going to bring this to a close then. It's been great meeting you. I'm
Very,
glad,
very,
I'm
Much.
glad
very
you've enjoyed it.
No, it was a great
And,
exercise. So thanks very much for the invite to everybody over there at the team.
yeah.
And yeah, it was really great experience. So I may even be inspired to consider Greek. And I already had like Ukrainian, Belarusian I've been working on for the last
Yeah.
2 weeks. But yeah,
Well,
it's really got me excited.
you're not far from Athens. You can hop over to Athens.
Always
You know,
possible. I'm going to be even more excited on my next
We'll
trip
have
to
a few
Greece.
more, Michel. I will continue with Michel Thomas.
Yes, exactly. I will get this. Probably means that I'll go and buy the courses now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Get a sale.
Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
click
okay.
on leave. Okay.
Okay.
And,
Have a
Lovely
great
to have
evening.
met you.
and this will be
Yes.
on YouTube eventually, I'm sure.
Perfect. Okay.
It'll be
Perfect.
edited and then it'll go on
Yes,
YouTube.
yes.
Cool.
Okay.
So
All the
I
best,
don't know.
Conor. All the best.
All right. I'm going
Bye.
to go back to
Bye-bye.
work here in Odessa,
Bye. Bye-bye.
Ukraine. Bye bye. Do pobачення.
Bye.
Do свидання. Okay.